Welcome to the Color Auntie podcast. My name is Grace, joined by my co-host,
Kuzan.
and we are so glad that you're here with us. We're just your northern girls trying to live our best life. We're here to help you through those dreadful morning commutes, or if you're just wanting to hear Quay out of things you may be experiencing, because both Quay and I have been there.
We don't really know what we're doing in life, but we're hoping to figure it out with you along the way.
Yeah, so listen, your podcast aunties love ya. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Color Auntie podcast. We're so glad to be back. It's been a minute. I'll be honest, we've been quite busy with our personal lives. As everyone may know, the school semester is coming to a close. So I just finished my second semester of university this past week. So that's been really great. And before we get into a full check-in, I'll let Quay kind of welcome everyone back.
Welcome back, guys. We're literally only back because we have nowhere else to go. I'm just kidding. We got nowhere else to go, so we're back in your ears again. But
it's funny when we try to when we're like texting about when we're gonna like be doing our recording, and I was a bit like an hour late. I'm like, I'm so sorry, and she's like, no worries, just still watching Netflix. And I'm like, oh yeah, because we have nowhere to go, so I don't feel too bad being
late. And then even on like today, I went on a walk. Not like groundbreaking, but like I got caught in the rain, and that was so. I like just withstood the dampness and cold because I'm like, I have nothing else to do right now. I like was breathing in all the air too. I'm like, you know what it smells like? Your lawn was just cut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gotta enjoy this because there's nothing else right now.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it was sunny here all day in Hamilton, and it was beautiful. I got out for a nice walk. It's not really much of a walk when you go with kids. You're kind of just like waiting and walking and waiting and yelling, and yeah, so it was okay, but I was outside. I was moving a bit. It's kind of my like rest day on the weekends. And I got my Aunt Flo today as AKA
welcome back.
Time. So yeah, welcome back to our special guest, Aunt Flo. Joins us monthly.
We missed her, but she's back.
So
no, we haven't missed her.
No, we haven't missed her. But I really try to get in tune with my body, and like I try to think of being grateful for this time that I am having, that I'm functioning normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's arrived, and it's full force, and it's good. But yeah, no, like I've learned a lot about my health this past month, and I can't wait to talk about it a bit later.
Yeah, not right now, Grace.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about it. You guys have no idea. But yeah, no, things have just been really busy on my end with school, really. So that's exciting. And how have you been, Quay?
Well, for my check-in, I've been working on myself, working on like doing that inner work. It's so tiring. And for the month of March, I was meeting with my therapist once a week. So coming into April, I was kind of like relieved to have that little break because of the so much inside healing I was doing. So that's been really tiring and draining, but it's all for a good cause, right? Like you're healing your heart and stuff, and from our life with intergenerational trauma. But you know what, I've also been so grateful to lean on during these times, and something you've started is being able to run and like go for jogs. And I'm glad to be able to move because movement is medicine. And we'll talk a little bit later about this new initiative that we're going to do with you guys. So,
well, I just want to applaud you, Quay, because that's something that I thought about this past month. This past month has been like, there's been a lot of change in my life. And I think for the good, but it's hard work, right? It's hard work to change ourselves
Yeah.
for the better. And there was one evening where it just hit me and I was like, this is hard. I don't know, like for any
Yeah.
women that have to deal, even like this is one aspect of like having some like infertility problems, is
Mhm.
that every month you think, okay, and like, like your period comes and you're like, well, I'm still like not perfect. You think that and you're like, what else do I have to change? And for me, it's like, how much more weight do I have to lose? What is like wrong with me? What more, like, how can I get better? And it's like always a constant reminder of how much more you have to change. And like, yeah, there's change for the better, but then also like you just get stuck in that mindset. But yeah, like we have been, like going to these doctors and these therapists, and we're doing such great work for bettering ourselves, but it's also very hard work
It's
and
hard.
it's draining. And so I just totally kind of like related to you when you said that, because there was a time where I was just totally down. I think I even made a post and I was like, keep going, like drink
Mhm.
that water, get that sleep, and it's okay to say no to things that will just like that won't benefit you.
Mhm.
So that's a reminder to everyone else too, because I feel like spring brings new beginnings, and maybe we're all kind of, as gross as it sounds, I don't know why this came up, but we're like shedding that winter skin and we're just like trying to like be this new person for the summer and like go for it. But like no, people have your back and like people are there for you, and like you can do it, but just like stand
Right.
for yourself.
Grace, I agree with you so much about not that you need to be the new person, but like standing in who you are now or who you've evolved to, because like there's so many things that we can I don't know if this is going to sound rambly, but it's like we were so lucky that we didn't have to go through so many traumas, but now we're so lucky that we get to heal from the ones we do have and have our next generation not.
Yeah.
And it's hard work. I think I just rambled because I'm like, new person, it's hard work, it's
Yeah.
tiring.
We
We're
could
all
keep
in lockdown. I
we could
think
keep
it's
going around the same circle, but it like the same thing, like yeah.
oh, what I meant was I've been thinking a lot lately about like, oh, before I used to think I got to run 5K again in 25 minutes because that's what 21, 23-year-old Quay could do. I got to do this, I got to do that. And now I'm like, okay, but I'm not 21-year-old Quay. I know more and I'm more experienced and
Yeah.
I'm more authentic. So I'm like, what can I really do before my foot hurts? I can only do 3.5 if I'm being completely honest. And then my foot hurts and then my body, like my hips are off. And then I'm like, just torturing myself. So if I'm kind to myself and I only get that 3, then that's who I am now. And I can be proud of that because I've lived a long life and I've gotten
Yeah.
slammed around in like basketball where like my bones aren't aligned like they should.
Yeah.
And I've been like, that's been hard, I think, to accept and like to move on from and like be who you are now. Because when I go to my massage therapist, she's like, yeah, your shoulder and your right side still kind of like out of whack. And I'm like, oh well, how do I make it better, like because I want it better now. And she's like, well, given your history, like it's going to take a long time to after being in such a physical sport for so long. And I'm like, oh, my poor bones. Because yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's called listening to your body.
that that whole walk around of ramble was to get to listen to your body.
Listen to your body. That's, I'm thinking that right now, I have my Aunt Flo and I'm just like, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to like eat healthy, nourishing foods that's good for my body and just like let my body like do its work and like do what it's supposed to do. But it's also draining a lot of energy from me right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think a lot of like probably men know that it is tiring for us. and that we should have paid sick days. And Jolie,
We
we're on to another rant.
Yeah, all of a sudden we start doing something else.
Women's rights. Okay.
Women's right. Okay, that was a long-winded check-in.
Oh,
We just had a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives where we're just like trying to share it.
everyone can take a breath now.
Yeah.
The check-in's over. We're gonna move on to a lighter note. So kind of, you know, what we've talked about in the past is Netflix and Amazon. We feel this is really light because, you know, what is everyone else doing? They're doing the same thing. So we want to give like our thoughts. So, okay. I want to talk quickly about Netflix Seaspiracy.
Okay.
That Quay you never finished.
I never finished, but what blew my mind was in Seaspiracy, they were like, for you not to drink a straw, to use a plastic straw because of the animals, is like you not using a toothpick because of the rainforest. And I was like, I don't want to use a toothpick either.
Yeah, apparently plastic straws are only like 1% of like the ocean's pollution. And
that blew my mind.
Yeah, it is crazy. I was shocked because, okay, I feel like maybe a lot of people can like relate to me when I first moved down here to Southern Ontario away from my home. I found it weird to have like fish at restaurants that weren't like, I'm like, where did this fish come from? Because I would always like know where the fish came from that I would have on my plate at home. Like, oh, like Uncle Tony caught this fish. And it just seemed really like foreign to me that I would have fish at restaurants down here. And especially like fish that I never heard like the name of before, because I guess they aren't like native to this country. And it was just like, I don't know, it blew my mind. But then I'm like, wait, literally like 2 months ago, I'm like, no, seafood is good for me. So I need to start eating more. So I started actually buying like shrimp and salmon from the grocery stores, and I was starting to eat tuna more. And then I don't want to give it all away, but pretty much after I watched Seaspiracy, I'm no longer buying seafood from a grocery store. And I'm going back to my thinking of I'm only going to eat it if I know who caught it.
Right. Like when you were like, I came down south and there was fish I didn't even know the name of. You know what came to my mind? What was that one movie where they were out for dinner and the girl's like, can I have the mahi, but instead of two, can I just have one mahi?
I don't know, but that's funny.
One of our listeners knows.
So everyone watch Seaspiracy. It's honestly a really informing documentary.
Yeah.
And just very like captivating. Like you'll kind of be shocked by what you'll learn. And I hope no one like I don't want to give it away. So I'm saying watch it.
Not second, but back to another recommendation we can give, because I just gave that mahi reference. It's from House Bunny. If you haven't seen House Bunny, go watch it. It's like my second favorite movie.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Is it that I can watch it?
Okay, so
okay.
Another movie we watched though was The Art Heist, How to Steal a Painting. What was it?
I actually don't know the name of it, but what? It's like it was one of the recommended. Yeah, wait, you look up. It's one of the recommended ones on Netflix about the this museum in Boston, and the Isabella Gardner Museum. In fact,
guess what the title of it is?
It's a robbery.
Yeah, it's like,
oh,
this is a robbery.
Wow.
Steal a painting.
Guess that.
Okay.
So yeah, we watched that and it was pretty cool. It's about there's like a $10 million reward for whoever like can give a tip or return the paintings. There was about 6 or 10 paintings taken. I don't know.
And like everybody who was involved slowly got picked off, and it was like a really long, like the world's longest robbery because of how slow they were moving.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I think the security guard definitely gave away info or sold insight.
Totally. Yeah. The security guard. So yeah, because I don't think you just blindly go into it without knowing, like they obviously paid him some money to like, hey, open the door so easily for us to get in and pretend to be cops so it doesn't look like it's your fault. And like, it was like foolproof. And what did I Quay? There was one line where it was like, this was a pretty dumb heist. And I'm like, it wasn't that dumb if you guys haven't really found or arrested anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good heist considering you don't have the paintings back.
Yeah, technically this was like the best heist. Even though they only stole like a couple things, and like it was technically a pretty smart heist. So
it was
that made me laugh. That was a good one.
Yeah. So one on Amazon Prime. I think I told Quay about it. If that's
I think I told you because I only watched the first season, and then you watched the whole thing and told me to go back.
No, you didn't tell me about it. My sister Tasha told me about it, and I didn't know you even watched the first.
Okay, you ignored me then.
Okay, maybe. So, anyways, it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Younger, and it's super funny and cute. I actually watched the first or all the 6 seasons within a couple weeks. And that's really cute. It's this older like mom goes through like divorce, has like a teenage daughter, and wants to get back into editing.
Working, I think.
She wants to get
editing.
Working. Publishing.
Publishing.
She wants to get back into publishing, but like it's all changed. Like she's not young anymore. So she actually pretends to be younger. And she gets the job, and it's super funny and it's cute, and it's just like a good show. And season 7 is out now, but I don't think it's available in Canada. So I'll let you guys know if you guys end up binge watching it. I'll let you know how you can get the next season.
Who's your favorite character? Because I'll tell you who my favorite character is.
My favorite character is what's the boyfriend's name? The young guy. Josh. I love Josh because I think he's such like a cool dude, and I feel like he's been genuine with his feelings, and his real name in life is Nico.
Oh, is it?
It is. So cute.
I think you know, but can you guess who my favorite character is?
Hilary Duff.
Oh no. But it's the lady boss, Diane Trout. I think she's so funny. Like when like when the one girl got in the hospital and she's like, I'm so sorry. This should have been Becky, not you.
Yeah.
It's like
I know.
Cheers.
It is a really good show.
Okay. So now let's move on to kind of the topic of it is the topic of this episode, healing from the inside out. I've been vocal about like going to therapy and all that stuff and how hard it is, but how good it is, and how everyone should try a couple therapists until they find one they like. But Grace, you've been healing from the inside out in a different way, and tell us about your appointment with the naturopath.
Okay, I've been like doing some big deep healing from the inside out. For real though, I went and saw the naturopath that my friend recommended April 1st. But honestly, what's really changed too was when Quay and a friend named Crystal, this was before like the big lockdowns, they came and visited me on, I'm looking at the calendar because I can kind of figure out. I think it must have been, it was March 27th. And casually, it was like right after I got my vaccine, I was like, yeah, I'll go for a run with you girls. Like, I know you guys are runners. Little did I know they're like super intense runners, at least for me. And I went on my first run and my lungs were burning. And I'm like, I don't consider myself a runner. And then I got the Apple Watch like the same time, like I think just the day before. So then we started doing these competitions, and I've kind of been just like super into running since then. It's been what, like 5 weeks, I think now. And then also seeing the naturopathic doctor who really just like I felt like had my back. I've been scratching at the doors of all these Western medicine doctors for the past 3 years. I've been seeing my family doctor. I've been seeing a fertility specialist. I've been seeing an endocrinologist, which is a hormone doctor. And none of them, they all said just lose weight. And I'm like, but I can't lose weight. And I see the naturopath doctor, and he's like, it's probably your thyroid. We're going to do a full panel check. He's like, I don't know why doctors don't take thyroid seriously, because it can affect fertility, it can affect fatigue, it can affect losing weight, it can affect it, like it brings on anxiety, it can cause irritability. And literally, these are all things that I have. And I've been telling every doctor these exact things. So he put me on like a diet plan, not a diet plan, it's called a treatment plan, where, I cut out gluten, no wheat, no coffee, which surprisingly I haven't missed. And like all these other little things, like no drinking from plastic and only like drinking from glass or stainless steel. And just like, I don't know, just to have direction of like support, instead of like, oh, sorry, you're just gonna have to lose weight. Here's like some medication and like figure it out. And I'm like,
Right.
what? So honest, I've been so excited to share this on the podcast, because it's now been 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been about a month and a half since I started running, and almost 4 weeks since I saw the naturopath doctor, and I've lost 15 pounds.
Way to go, Grace.
But I've been like pushing myself really hard, and like I said earlier, there were some evenings where I just like almost lost it, like just felt unmotivated, because making these big changes are hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work. And I think having like a little community, like I look up to Quay as a runner, I look up to Crystal as a runner, I even look up to Erica, which is Quay's best friend from Sault Ste. Marie, as a runner, because just kind of like seeing them all online and like posting their workouts and showing their like runs, and I'm like, whoa, this is like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna try to beat my score. And I just want to like feel that progress. And I have felt that progress in my running, which has been really cool. And now I'm seeing like actual results from it. And also, I've been really strict with my eating. But it's all medicine, right? Like I'm eating better foods for me.
And look what happened. And I was so excited for you to share this on the podcast, because all the time we talk out of our ass about complex carbs and like fasting and like respecting like our ancestral diets, and like we never had anything to back it up. But now that you went to the naturopath, they were like, girl, stop eating this type of carb, and like that's not good for your body, and like it inflames it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, we were on to something.
We're the science now. We're becoming the science. But it was really so the naturopath doctor that I saw, he's Asian. And when I told him, because he's big on food sensitivity, so he'll do this test with you, and he's pulling out all these things and seeing what you're sensitive to. And I told him that I'm Indigenous, and he's like, you know what? Like Indigenous and Asian people here in Canada are not supposed to be eating a lot of the foods that are here. And he's like, that's why like we're not looking like what we're supposed to, and we're actually very unhealthy. So he told me to like gluten and dairy, like he pretty much anything that will just mess my hormones up, he's like, just stop taking in your body, like find something else, no more coffee. So it's honestly helped so much, and I just needed that like push and also that support, which I felt he gave me. And
Right, with the blood work and stuff and getting that stuff tested for sure.
well, he was frustrated for me.
Yeah.
He's like, are you serious? Like, he's like, I don't know why doctors don't take thyroid so seriously, because it affects so many things in people's lives. And I'm like, right? Like, and I talked to a dietitian the morning of
Oh yeah.
I saw him, and she told me to eat a bagel for breakfast. And I knew in my head, I'm like, a bagel is like the worst thing I could eat,
Yeah.
because carbs,
Turn into sugar.
flour, yeah, carbs turn into sugar. That's not even a good carb. A carb would be like, have a sweet potato for breakfast. I don't know, like anything but a bagel. So, and my naturopath was like, don't listen to anything a dietitian says. And I don't like to promote that when I say that, because I do feel if you're new to what is good and what isn't, and trying to, like seek out a dietitian, like they still are professional. But if you're looking for a more individualized plan, don't go to a dietitian maybe that you don't know, or know who they don't know who you are. Like, I don't know. It's just very hard.
You know, because like you're saying like every body is different. So
Yeah.
like your treatment plan is going to be very individualistic. And unfortunately, these dietitians and a lot of Western doctors have a blanket remedy.
Yeah.
And like the naturopath and stuff like that, they are more individualistic, I think. And yeah.
They are very, my friend who goes and sees the same naturopath, like she can't have any rice, where I'm allowed to have rice. Even like there's things that are still gluten free that she can't have, but I can have. Like I can have quinoa and rice. I actually didn't react to gluten when he was doing that sensitivity test, but he just said that gluten's bad for you anyway, so just cut it out. So, like leading up to my period, I, had a couple cookies that like Ben's mom made, and I know that's made with flour and whatnot. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I know that this isn't too bad for me, but I'm just gonna have a little bit. So I'm still like listening to my body, and if I'm craving something, I'm just gonna like have a small piece of it until that craving goes away. But what I've been noticing is that those cravings don't come every day. They're like very sporadic. So my friend was also telling me something too, that it's a sign that you're missing something. Like we don't actually crave bad foods. That, oh, maybe you said it, Clay, but my friend said it today too, Olivia.
Yeah.
If you're craving something sweet, you may be low on calcium or something like that. Like it'll be something like that you're actually missing that's healthy, but you're just craving the bad part of like, or craving sugars, like salt. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah. It's like if you're craving a certain sense, like not sensory, but like savory, sweet, or something like that, it leads to a different type of thing that you're missing, like minerals. So walnuts have a lot of whatever mineral and nutrient, and that's what your body is searching for from like needing that savory taste.
Yeah.
It's trying to help you, but we're confused because we're used to processed foods.
Yeah, we should really find that. That's very interesting.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
What was that Netflix documentary where they had everyone on the keto diet, that they were Australian, indigenous people from Australia who had they did a test on children and also on children who were on the autism spectrum, and they ate keto, and it like their behavior and sensories or something like improved, or like they were less triggered when they were on that diet and not having processed food. Because like everywhere, right, the cheapest, easiest thing for people who are low income would be to go to McDonald's. But once you stop that processed food and start putting them on the keto diet and have them different, the chemicals in your brain are different because of your hormones of what you're ingesting. And it's exactly what you just had said from the naturopath, and it improves your quality of life in so many different ways.
Was it keto or was it paleo?
Paleo, I think. It was paleo.
I feel like it's paleo because paleo is a more like better structure. I don't as Indigenous people, I don't think we should be doing keto because
it
like
has
what you do, you go in ketosis, right? But what I don't like about it is that like people with keto think like they can have all like you're upping your fat intake, right? Like you're allowed to have dairy. So remember I showed you that picture of like someone I know was like keto and then got this Starbucks drink that literally had like extra
heavy cream.
And I'm like, that is so bad for us.
And that's like where diet fads are not individualistic. Like if you wanted to go on keto but you were lactose intolerant and you can't process milk and like that kind of stuff, then like you have to have a very individualistic plan on that keto trend. Where I know it works for some people and like you can have vegan keto and stuff like that. I don't know how though, but there are like things like that can be done around it. I don't know, it's just
honestly, I feel like, you know, go see like a medicine man, or go like if you are in the inner city and you can see a naturopathic doctor who can like provide you an individual plan, because like for you, Quay, like I don't think that I am lactose intolerant, but you are. Like I could drink a thing of milk and be fine. But I know that the hormones all in the milk just aren't good. So like that's why like I stay away. But a lot of our people are lactose intolerant, but there's, you know, there's some that aren't. So there's, even though we have like a similar background, like maybe you could be allowed to have wheat and gluten, but I can't, you know, like just with how our bodies are digesting and working so different. So,
and I don't want to, like, if keto has worked for any of our listeners and you and you can live that lifestyle and that can be your maintenance lifestyle, then do it. Like, I don't want to knock it and like say don't look into each method or style of eating. Like, don't knock it, but it's very individualistic. That's the whole thing we're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying keto won't work for me, but if it's working for you, do it. And it won't work for Quay either.
And it won't. You know what else won't work?
It won't work for Quay because you're lactose.
Yeah, I know.
I speak for both of us now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So
we've been healing really from the inside out. And I think, you know, I like to think of it as like spring brings new beginnings. New things are changing. I'm realizing things. Quay's realizing things. We're making some moves, and we're like so happy that we're able to share it. But what we want to move on to next is I'll let Quay give the introduction of her tagline she's been really saying like this past year.
Yeah, so I kind of stole this tagline from the Wealth for Culture podcast, and they say movement is medicine. And I really love that because if y'all remember when I went to go see the traditional healer, he was like, Quay, you need to move. If you go out for a 20-minute run, if you go to a spin class every morning, you have to move because that's what your body and your spirit needs to be healthy and well. And I think he told me that because I don't know if it's because, but like I have undiagnosed ADHD. So like I have all this energy in me I need to get out. And maybe for me, the method of running, jogging, spinning, like that is movement, and that movement is medicine for me and my spirit, and will help me stay focused on my day or just be healing in general, right? So we want to let y'all know that we invite you to run and walk with us. Me and Grace are walking more, and Grace is now running too. So we want you guys to run and walk with us and tag us in your stories and stuff like that to raise awareness for the National Day of awareness for missing and murdered Native women and girls. That's on May 5th. So if you can walk 5K, tag us. If you can run 5K, tag us. And then on May 5th, we want you to run or walk with us exactly 5K on that day. Well, exactly, but you can do more if you want.
Yeah, I think that's really great. That gives us almost 2 weeks starting on Wednesday. So start finding your runners.
Finding your runners. Start shopping. Go online shopping right now. Sports Check has us. Just kidding.
Yeah, honestly, I really owe it like a lot of credit to like Quay and Crystal. Like they came and saw me at really great times, and Quay too, she came and saw me. I'm personally like going through a lot just with my personal life, and running has just really helped. Like it's a challenge for me. Like I don't want to say like I am this big runner, and because I do feel sometimes like before I started was just like unmotivated that I'm not a runner. And I don't think you have to run thinking you are a runner. Like you're running. It's so hard to like think that, but I like run and stop and run and then I push myself right at the end. But like it's like just that little bit of a challenge that's like adding to your walk. I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. And you just like you can kind of like make those improvements every day where you're running a bit longer, or you're doing your lap a little bit quicker, and like that's just so rewarding. But you're just adding a little bit more challenge to your walk. That's kind of what I look at it as. It's been really fun.
So join in the fun with us and start moving.
Yeah, movement is medicine. We're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna start. I want to go for a run.
Gotta go. We gotta sign off now because we're gonna go for a run right now and get it started.
Yeah,
I already went though. Yeah.
But I think like really what a positive podcast this podcast episode has been. I feel
and
like
we never. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, guys, we literally don't know what we're doing in life, but we are so glad that you're with us for this journey while we figure it out.
Yeah. Life is hard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Given, like the new lockdown measures, and I think like our podcast really just came at a really good time for us, and I hope for you guys too, all that are listening. And everyone's trying to figure it out right now. We don't know. We've never been through this before. Our parents have never been through this. Our grandparents have never been. Maybe our great grandparents. I don't know. Who knows? Probably. But, it's just hard times. It's really hard times. But you know what? Outside ain't canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, get out for a walk around your block.
And to encourage you guys, we're also going to be doing a Spotify playlist. So when you're on your run or your walk, you can listen to some of our hits that make our spirits dance and get moving.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to like see the different music tastes that get us pumped.
Yeah.
It's going to be really eclectic. So we hope you guys like our playlist.
I wonder if anyone will be able to guess like Grace put that.
Yeah.
And Quay put that one in. Okay, what a great like check-in. Hope everyone's doing well on the other side. And we look forward to chatting with you guys next week. And thank you all for listening.
So your podcast Andes know that life can be tough, and we want to end our episode with promoting the Hope for Wellness talk line. The Hope for Wellness helpline offers immediate help to all Indigenous people across Canada. It is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to offer counseling and crisis intervention. Life can be tough, and we've all been there. So call the toll-free helpline at 1-855-242-3310 or connect online to their chat at hopeforwellness.ca. And remember that your podcast aunties love you.